this is my 8th one, and all the other times I've talked about using optimization to create art. And I was good with that, but I just couldn't control myself, so I wanted to put something in. This is the type of thing that I do, continuous line drawing based on the traveling salesman problem. Craig Kaplan had a huge role in making this stuff look good, dispersal of the dots. But I'm going to talk about something that I talked about 2 years ago and show an extension. These are game of life patterns that are interesting game of life patterns, but also render interesting artistic images. So one thing I showed back at G4G12 was these still life mosaics. These game of life patterns are still lifes. They're stable objects. And I'm just zooming out. So every living cell stays alive. Every dead cell stays dead. So we get a still life that's a still life. But thank you. But if you'll notice, there's a little thing in the bottom right corner. We've got a glider there. And if you set that in motion, to speed up the talk, I'm not animating it. It tends to destroy. Now, last time I also showed a period 2 oscillator mosaic. So the whole idea here is to construct a set of tiles, and these tiles are modular and they have the desired properties. You need multiple brightness levels, for instance. John, you know what's coming. So this is a period 2 oscillator. So this is John. And he's told me he hates it on multiple occasions. What's that?
I've decided that as of either late last night or early this morning, I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused about times, I don't hate life anymore.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Let me say one thing. The reason is that somebody, I'd like to know who it is, introduced me or spoke of me or something as the creator of life. And I think that enables me to have my usual modesty.
Yes.
Sort of perhaps not mentioned for some time. You know, the idea. Not mentioned for some time that, you know, I'll just say briefly, somebody introduced me or described me or something as the creator of life. And I rather like that title. And so it also enables me to exhibit my usual modesty. You know, I have a saying about myself, many sayings about myself, one of which is that I'm a very modest person. You all know that. And modesty is, in fact, my only vice. And if I weren't so modest, I'd be perfect. And also, I'm working on the modesty. Well, anyway, it enables me to be modest and not sort of describe myself as the creator, life's creator, or whatever it is, for some time, and then casually drop it into the conversation somehow. I'm working on methods of introducing it into the conversation, too. Okay, that's all. So,
thank you very much. Thank you, John.
Having my patience.
So when I showed these, particularly these period 2 oscillator mosaics, the most common question that I received was, instead of making a period 2 oscillator that goes back and forth between essentially the same image, can we make a period 2 oscillator that alternates between 2 different recognizable images? So that's the contribution here. So I'm zooming out again. Used optimization to create a collection of tiles. Thank you. So,
You know what the first one, the smallest one of those is? You know what it's called?
well, the blinker or what?
No.
Oh,
The first one that goes between two different leads.
oh, the Phoenix or the flip-flop?
It's called the toad.
The Toad, okay.
You remember it now?
Yeah, yeah. So I want to present some of the details here. So the most important part of this construction set is this, what I call HL tile. So it goes back and forth between having a high phase and a low phase. And in the high phase, it has 352 living cells, and in the low phase, 288. And that's not a big difference, but it's enough to make it work. Now, the low-high tile is just the high-low tile offset. We also need LL tiles that are going to be that low number of living cells each time, 288. And there's a bunch of these. There's a whole bunch. I haven't found them all. And then we need high-high tiles that are bright at every single. And those are, actually, I haven't found any that are true period 2 oscillators. They're all still lifes. And the tile selection is, as you'd imagine, we divide image 1 and 2 into blocks of pixels. In each image, we compute the block brightnesses. And then we just follow this chart that says that if we have both blocks being bright, we use the HH tile. If one is bright and one's dark, we use either the HL or the LH. And if they're both dark, we use one of the many LLs. And this is just one last example. These are both based on animations, famous animations done by Muybridge. So that's a running cat, or running rat, or running squirrel, or something. Oberlin's new mascot is the albino squirrel, so that was appropriate. And I want to say that all those images were done in Gali, and thank you, Tom. Thank you for all the people in Gali. Thanks for the Life community for inspiring me so much. Thank you, John. I'd like to do more of these things with, instead of just 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames. I need more of these, and instead of me just hunting by myself, I'd like to, if anyone wants to contribute small symmetric patterns that have interesting properties for mosaicing, please contact me. So, oh, one last thing. There's a photo of John taken at Bridges last summer. So there's a box of Life cereal here. John's, he was a really good sport about this, trying Life, and he wrote, "I hate life" on the box. But now we're going to have to put, "I do not hate life," right?
Clearly a historical picture.
This is historical. Yeah, this was August 2015. The idea for this was given by Jim Baumgardner. Mike Naylor took the photo. Thank you very much.